Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Fundamentals of Investments, INV 2601. Today, I am feeling like we're going to finish early. That's just a feeling. You know, they say you shouldn't trust your feelings, but I'm really feeling great about today. We are going to do derivatives part 2. Not too hard, but a little bit, yeah, not too hard because I will give you a universal formula. We are going to do correlation. Easy stuff, covariance, scratching the head, but not hard stuff. Standard deviation, very easy stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know whether I already introduced myself, but you know me already. But as always, we have to start this way because I've found that this is a useful way to start. How are you feeling today? In the chat, let's put in the chat. Great, good, just okay, not too good. How am I feeling today? Let me ask myself, how am I feeling today? Today, I am feeling great, actually. I am feeling great, actually. I'm looking forward to today. I am looking forward to today. Today is going to be a great day. Only that the weather is changing, but like I always say, what's the weather to do with how we are feeling? It has a bearing, but you have to see that we are great. I'm feeling great. Hi, Lesecha. Hi, Zile. Hi, Letabo. Let's see, who else is there? Hi, Kaylin. It's nice to see you. Kunelo, nice to see you. Lesecha, in your village, I don't know. You always tell me you're in a village. I don't think you're telling the truth. I don't think so. I really don't think you're in a village. Why would the internet be so good if you're in a village? Yeah, there inside in deep Polokwane. Yeah, there in the center of the town, but you're telling me what village is that? Just okay. Blessings, just okay. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get started. Let's get started. Today is a good day. Great day. Okay. We're going to do what we call put call parity. But before we do put call parity, ladies and gentlemen, I have a question for you. I have a practical question for you. And it's the multiple choice question, which is a good thing. Let's go here. Where am I going? I don't even know where I'm going. I am going to the chat. I am going to, no, I know where I was going. I got lost, ladies and gentlemen, but I am found. I wanted to come here and bold it because it makes me feel a little bit happier if it's bold. Ladies and gentlemen, assume two supermarket chiller operators, one in South Africa and one in the UK, perform the same equal job with equal experience and qualifications. The chiller operator in South Africa earns 7,000 rands, while the one in UK is 36,000. That one in UK is already a Lani. Which of the following statements is most accurate? Make your choice, ladies and gentlemen. The Lani in UK and the and our chiller operator in South Africa. Make your choice, make your choice, make your choice. A, B, C, or D. Which statement is most accurate? Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Ladies and gentlemen, let's not spend too much time on easy stuff. Remember, these multiple choice questions, you can just say A, whatever, B, whatever, C, whatever. Okay? You actually have to type A, then you say whatever in front. Okay, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's interesting. Let's go. Kaylin, let's say Charlie Tabo. Let's see. Matsi, what's happening? Please post in the chat. Don't tell me you don't have an opinion. Obviously, you have an opinion. Everyone has an opinion. Blessings. Oh, look at me. I'm giving you a name. I'm giving you a name. Okay, blessing, not blessings. Luvuyo, what's happening? A, B, C, or D? Zile, what's happening? A, B, C, or D? Okay, let's see. Who else? Okay, Kunelo, I saw it posted. Luvuyo, nothing. Matsi is on strike. Let's see, is she really striking or I'm just... Oh, no. Matsi is not striking. No, not striking at all. I am just not seeing. Millicent Matoho, you're just joining, I think. Please post. No, there's no Millicent. I went all the way down. No, is there Millicent? Is there Millicent? Millicent, you're there. That's why I'm not finding you. You're not posting. That's why. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, most of you say C. Okay. So we have two operators, one in the UK who earns 1,600 Rand and one in South Africa who earns 7,000. And we have most of you say, see, the wage difference reflects a five-fold difference in living standards. Let me shock you, ladies and gentlemen. If you earn 1,500 pounds in the UK, you are struggling. Uyahlupheka. Kakhulu. Because the rent out there probably is 1,700 pounds per month for a small little room. But if you are earning 7,000 here in South Africa, you see, you are not writing your mother email letters to say I'm doing too well, but I think you can survive. So the correct answer is the two operators have similar standards, living standards, despite the significant wage difference. Because the living standards in the UK are expensive, very expensive. To live in the UK is very expensive. So which means the two operator in the UK, though they earn in exchange rate terms 5 times, more than 5 times what our two operator locally is earning, their living standards are more or less the same. Or probably our local one will be doing better because if you are living in Kwamashu and your rent is 600, in 600 for the room, you are doing fine. You are doing fine. And then you are living in the UK and you know how much your rent is. Your rent is 1,700. You are earning below the rent. That's a problem. So we call that, okay, let's go. Okay, we do not call it anything. So we can see that even though in financial terms you are living, if if I was teaching economics, I would start talking about purchase power parity. All I want to say is parity. Parity doesn't imply equality. It's just say similarity. It's not equality. So when we talk of purchase power parity, remember last week we spoke about the put, or let's see if anyone has a comment before I start. Yeah, the cost of living in the UK is terrible. Yeah, it's you have to earn probably more than £2,000 to have an okay life. So the two expensive things, rental, madly expensive, insurance, madly expensive. Those two things. So if you have a little car there, you can't even afford it if you are not doing an okay job. Last week we spoke about the put and call option. Put option and call option. And we said, I'm going to be generous. I'm feeling generous and I'm feeling great. Devon is great. The weather is getting cloudy, but I'm feeling great, which is important. We said a call option gives you a right to buy an asset at a particular price. So we were talking about Capitec, which is my favorite company, doing very well. Capitec. We're saying, let's say the share, you can agree with someone to say, I will buy from you the share at 100 Rand at maturity. If the share price is more than 100 Rand, you go to that person and buy it at 100 Rand. And since you are so clever, you can sell it immediately for 105 or whatever higher price it is and make a profit. That's a call option. Right to buy. But for that right, you pay a premium. That's what we said. So put option is right to sell. You are holding a Capitec share and you go to someone and say, when I want to sell at maturity, I want to sell you this share at a particular price. That particular price is called the strike price. So get to maturity, Capitec suddenly is trading at 90 Rand. You go to that sucker and say, sucker, we agreed. Since I was so clever, I'll sell it to you at 100 Rand. And you get your 100 Rand and you make a profit of 10 Rand minus a premium. So that's what we said last week. So we are taking a step forward. Let me find a pointer first before we take a step forward. We are saying if the share or the security is the same and the strike price is the same. So we have a Capitec share, strike price is 100 Rand. We say the call option, if you buy a call option and save some money to buy the asset at maturity. So you buy a call option, right, to buy and save some money. You save 100 Rand to get to buy the asset at maturity, because we now remember 100 Rand, you are guaranteeing yourself. Or buy a put option on the underlying. So we are saying the strike price is the same. Put call parity says there is that parity or the equality between these two. So there's an equality. This relationship between the put and the call should be more or less the same. That's put call parity. In other words, in formulaic terms, we say a call option plus the present value of the strike price is equal to a put option plus the spot price. Otherwise, if that's not the case, there is an arbitrage opportunity. But you know what I actually want to say is there's an arbitrage. That sounds better. My father will be proud if he hears me say there's an arbitrage. He said, okay, wow, that's my son. My mother would care less. Okay, so this is a universal formula, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember this formula, you will be able to answer any put call parity question. If you remember this, because when I was doing my undergrad, you see, I was a foolish man. Okay, sorry. Let me rephrase. I was a young man. Oh, that's better. So I didn't have. So someone approached me and said, "Okay, can I teach you investments?" I said, "No. Why would you want to teach me? It will help you increase your chances of passing." I said, "No. It's my way. I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it my way." Okay, that's what was me. But now I'm telling you this. I'm giving you a shortcut. If you remember this formula, you'll be able to answer any put call parity question. Okay, there's Francis there who is not muted. Let's mute Francis who is not muted. So this is a universal formula, okay? He talks too much. I agree, I talk too much, okay? So now we have a question. I was preparing you for this question. Example question. Remember we have our universal formula. So we are going to read and put the things in the universal formula. We are not going to try to understand anything clever. The price of the European core is a strike price of 30. Remember, strike price is this X. We put our 30 there. And expires in 6 months. Okay, where do we put it? To the power of is 2. So we know that the call, see this for call, we put our 2 plus 30 divided by 1 plus, okay, we don't have 10%, 0.1 to the power of 0.5. Why 0.5? Remember, 6 months is half of the year. Otherwise, it's to the power of 6 over 12 to the equals to, okay, now we continue. Let's continue. Using the put call parity, what is the price of the European put option that expires in 6 months and is a strike price of 30? So it's the same. It's the same strike price, same period, same asset. So we say we are told the underlying share price is 29. So our SO there is 29. There we go. Our universal formula helps us. So we say 2 plus 28 minus 29. Why minus 29? Because this is jump algebra. If you go to your, okay, most of you are young people. Most of you. You're not like me who started using my talents early. So you won't have children in grade 1. So the thing is jumped this side. So it's 2 plus 28 minus 29 because this is jumped the bridge. And if we do that, you say 1.6039. Put. That's the price of the put option. Easy, ladies and gentlemen. If you have a question, you can ask it, put in the chat, or you can unmute yourself. Otherwise, if you don't have a question, you are going to answer this question for yourself, and then you're going to answer that question for yourself and post in the chat. But the one which I want everyone to be able to answer is the first one. If you are fast enough, then you can do the second one. Let's go. If you have a question, put it in the chat. I'm here to answer it. I am here to answer the question. And I'm going to go quiet so that you have a chance to do it quietly. Where is the formula? So some of you might ask, where is the formula? There at the top there, ladies and gentlemen, the formula is at the top. Put core parity formula right at the top. And also it's here. Okay, so the formula is there. The 0.5 was for the 6 months pilile. Remember, 6 over 12 is 0.5. So we could say to the power of 6 over 12. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. 1 more minute. 1 more minute. I don't think you'll be struggling with this thing. I didn't, let me rephrase. I didn't think you'd be spending too much time with this thing. This should be a straightforward thing. Lesecha, what is happening? Did someone come to your door? Kaylin, do your question, bonus question, bonus question. Marcy, do your bonus question. Luvuyo, where is your answer? Kunelo, where's the answer? Pilile. Okay, sorry. So, Pilile, yeah, I actually gave you a hint there. Where's your answer? Okay, Anastasia. Okay, we give you a short pass. But go for it. Go for question number 1. We have seven. But there are some people who are never. Rubimbo. Where is your answer? Millicent Matoho. Millicent doesn't post anything. I'm sure Millicent says that he should never see me, but then I see you. I see your name there. Marcia. Let's go, Marcia. What's happening? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's go look at the answer. Okay, let's see who maybe Marcia posted. Well, at least I wanted to go. No, Marcia didn't post. Okay. Let's see the 8.71. Kunelo, well done. Well done. Kaylin, I don't know where you got your body. Kaylin, I don't know where you got your thing there. Okay, let's see. 6 months. It's also 6 months. Okay, I'll look at it now. Zile 8.7. Okay. Yes, well done. Letabo 1.41. Well done. Matsi 6 points. I don't know where you got your 6 points. Let me be surprised. Kaylin 8.7. Okay, well done.
I see
Pilile.
where I made a mistake.
Oh, you saw where you made a mistake.
Yeah, I used the 3 rand instead of the 5 rand for 4 cents.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Lesecha, I don't know where you got your 1.16 there. Should we do this thing together? Oh, you are happy. Together, happy, going once, together, happy, going twice. Let's do it. Okay. Okay, so let's do it. One person says, let's do it. Let me find my Excel. My Excel, where is it? It's coming. There it is. Then let's reduce, let's say minimize, so that we have our, okay, let's say the first question says, 1-year call option is a strike price of 55. So we say X is 55. It expires in 6 months. So time to expiry, we already say equals to 6/12 because we want to be lazy or to be organized. Is a price of, what is it? Call option. So our C is not small c. Small c there is 5.04. If the risk-free is 5%, so our I is 5%. And the current share price is equals to 50 rand. So our S is 50. What should be the corresponding? So we know, let's do the first part. The call option, the call side is equals to C is 504 plus open blanket X 55 divided by, we open another blanket, 1.005, it's 5%, 1.1, huh? Is it 00 is Japan? No, it's just 1.05, man. Then to the power of, we already know it is a half a year, to the power of this, and we close bracket. So that side is 58. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Then we know that the other side there is 50. The S here, so we say our P is unknown, and our S is goes to 50. So our S crosses the bridge. It becomes that. Yeah, no, what end? Minus 50. 8.71. Okay, are you happy, guys? This is the. Okay, let's do the next one. Okay, let's collapse that so that we have more real estate. Okay, clear that. Clear that. Strike price 100. We are doing this one now. Put, so our P, we already know put, where is it? P. Our put is what, 3? Because that's a given one. Risk-free is 5%, 0.05. Or we can just say 0.5%. I don't know what's happening. Kunel, I don't know what's happening to your network. Researcher, can you hear me? Researcher. Yes, you can. Okay. So then my network should be fine. Time to maturity, we say is half a year, 0.5. So the thing which we don't know here, which we want to try to calculate, is the call option. So this time we have our P plus S. Our P plus S, let's say here P plus S, P plus S. Our P plus S is equals to our P plus, okay, that's the S. Our P is this one. P, uh, shaky hand. Hey, such a young man with a shaky hand. Our P plus S. Then our X, we already know our X. Our X over something, our present value of X is equals to, our X is 100 divided by 1.05, because it's 5%. That 1% is rounding up to the power of 0.5, because it's half a year. That, then we are going to say equals to that minus that, gives us 1.4. Ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Any questions before we go? Going once? I see where I went wrong, okay? In the bonus question. Let's go. Okay, now we are talking about something called the swaps. We're just going to cover the theory of swaps. Only the theory. Only the theory. So we are going to, okay. Okay. So interest rates can be fixed, or I see the error of my ways. You make it sound like it's life changing. I see the error of my way, so now I am going to be a new man now. Okay. You are full of jokes. But so in South Africa, most of the interest rates which you get is variable interest rates. So when you go and get, let's say, a car loan or vehicle finance, I think that's what they call it in the banking sector, vehicle finance. They usually say they give you prime plus 0.5, prime plus 1. So they are saying whatever the prime is, like now I think it's 11.5. They are going to say, so we are going to get you 11.5 underneath, and over and above the 11.5%, they are going to hit you with another 1% additional. So your interest rate is 12.5. So if interest rates go down, like what we all hope, from 11.5 next time, the Reserve Bank governor says, let's go to 10.5. Your also interest rate, which you are being charged or which you are getting, also comes down. That's called a variable interest rate, because it's based on whatever this prime is doing. That's a variable. Fixed interest rate is the interest rate which I got for my first vehicle finance. First vehicle finance, I'm trying to finance in my nice white Corolla years ago. A few years ago. Remember, I'm 27. So a few years ago, I went to the bank. They looked at me up and down, and they say, we are going to give you a fixed interest rate. They were supposed to say, we are going to give you a punishing interest rate, because they hit me with like a 15% interest rate, fixed. I was shocking. So which meant then the prime started going down. But you know what? John was being punished. It was before I got my PhD. I can assure you. If it was now, I would say, oh, hold it, guys. I understand what you're doing to me. Okay. So prime interest starts coming down. I think when they gave me the punishing 15%, I think the prime was about 12. Then it started coming down, 11. I'm being punished at 15. 10. I'm being punished at 15. 9.5, I'm being because I have what we call a fixed interest rate. They looked at me and they say, I think it's from a rural area, which was true, but there was no reason to punish it. So we say companies, however, okay, let's say what my father would be happy with. However, that's my father would be really happy with that. However, different companies might need different types of interest rates. Some companies might prefer a fixed interest rate, while other companies might prefer a variable interest rate. But they go to the bank and they get whatever interest rate the bank wants to give them. But they say, okay, hold it. So we have company A and company B. Company A, let's say, has 100,000 rand loan, small loan for a company with variable interest, prime plus 1%. Okay. They want a fixed interest rate, but the bank wants just to give them a variable interest rate. Company B is different, 100,000 with a fixed interest of 7%. But they want a variable interest. So it's like in real life, we always want what we don't have. So what can these two companies do? Because they look over the fence and they say, I want what that person has. So they can go into what we call a swap. So the company A pays fixed interest to B, company B pays variable interest to A. That's called a swap. It's also a derivative. The fundamental, the underlying loan doesn't change. Only the cash flows with regards to the interest is what has changed. So that agreement to pay each other's interest is the swap. What time is it? 9:54, 9:34. 9:34, we started at 9. I think we can actually watch a video. Oh, well, let's watch a video. But I'm going to cry when I'll be saying, oh, why did we have to watch that video? And I'm going to blame myself and I'm going to be so angry with myself. No, it's rare that I'm angry with myself. I'm always telling myself lies. You know what? You did your best. You're such a great person. That's what I say to myself. And to others, you know what I say? To others, they wronged you. You did everything right. And those people, they really don't appreciate what you do. That's me. Healthy self-esteem. It's called a healthy self-esteem. Theater mode.
Let's say that we've got company A over here, and it takes out a $1 million loan. And it pays a variable interest rate on that loan. It pays LIBOR plus 2%. And LIBOR stands for London Interbank Offer Rate. It's one of the major benchmarks for variable interest rates. And so it pays that to some lender. This is the person who lent company A the money. It pays them a variable interest rate every period. So for example, in period 1, if LIBOR is at 5%, then in that period, company A will pay 7% or $70,000 to the lender in that period. In period 2, if let's say LIBOR goes down a little bit to 4%, then company A is going to pay 4 plus 2, which is 6%, or 6%, which is $60,000 in interest. $60,000 in interest. Let's say that we have another company, company B, right over here. It also borrows $1 million, but it borrows it at a fixed rate. Let's say it borrows it at a fixed rate of 8%. 8% fixed interest rate. So in each period, regardless of what happens to LIBOR or any other benchmark, and so this is to probably another lender, a different lender than the person that A borrowed it from, and it could be a bank or it might be another company or an investor of some kind. We will call this lender 1 and lender 2. So regardless of the period, right now company B will pay 8% of $1 million in each period, and which is about $80,000, or exactly $80,000 each period. Now let's say that Neither of these parties are really happy with that situation. Company A doesn't like the variability, the unpredictability in what happens to LIBOR, and they can't plan for how much they have to pay. Company B feels like they're overpaying for interest. They feel like, wow, the people who are doing variable interest rates, they're paying a less amount of interest every period. And maybe Company B also thinks that interest rates are going to go down, or that short term, or that variable rate is going to go down. LIBOR is going to go down. So that's an even a bigger reason why they want to become a variable rate borrower. So what they can do, and neither of them can get out of these lending agreements, but what they can do is agree to essentially swap some or all of their interest rate payments. So for example, they can enter into an agreement, and this would be called an interest rate swap, where Company A agrees to pay B, maybe let's make up a number here, 7% on a notional $1 million loan. So the $1 million will never change hands, but Company A agrees to pay B 7% of that notional $1 million, or $70,000 per period. And in return, Company B agrees to pay a variable rate. Let's say it's LIBOR plus 1% right over here. And this little agreement, and they would agree to do this for some amount. And once again, this is LIBOR plus 1% on a notional 1 million. And that word notional just means that 1 million will never change hands, that they're just going to exchange the interest payments on $1 million. And this agreement right over here is called an interest rate swap. And I'll leave you there in the next video. We'll actually go through the
Okay, let me share my screen before I want to give you some solid advice. Well, let me share my screen first before I give you. If you have, if you have a friend with a nice voice like that guy, don't let them talk to your wife or girlfriend. That's just our advice. Don't even let it happen. He's too well spoken. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, forget about my advice, just between me and Lesecha, the two of us. Good advice. We are going to do correlation and covariance.
Dr. John, before
Yes.
we go forward, are interest rate swaps a common thing?
It's not a very common thing.
Because
because most time banks want to give you variable interest rate.
Yeah, because it doesn't make sense to be stuck with the fixed interest anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't make too much sense, but it's something which is there. Ladies and gentlemen, question, because we remember, let's change gears. We are doing something else. Which combination provides better diversification, A or B? No, this is easy. Short, not too much to read. A or B? Let's go. A or B, better diversification. Which share combination gives you better diversification? Let's do this thing quickly, because this one is straightforward. Rubimbo, today did you come and say, I'm not going to type anything? I mean, what's happening, Rubimbo? Okay. B, ladies and gentlemen, you understand this gives you better diversification. Okay. Next question. So we know that the last answer was from Anastasia there, who says B, which is 100%. When diversifying to reduce risk, you should choose assets with, okay, positive relationship, negative relationship. Let's go. This is another, okay, less straightforward than the previous one. But we are trying to build on a concept. Okay, let's see who else. Who has posted? Rubimbo isn't posted. Okay. Okay.
I'm here. What did that say? It's noisy where I am.
Okay, okay, yeah, I was getting worried that you just left the teams running.
No.
Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so you understand they need to have a negative relationship. They go up and down differently. Okay. So you have an understanding of what correlation is. You have an understanding of what correlation. What I'm going to talk about, you actually have an understanding of it. So because when we say a correlation, we are just talking about the relationship between assets, the performance of the assets, to say, do they move together or do they move against each other? So when we say the positive, so the correlation, that measure of relationship, that correlation is an important concept, not just in finance. Even when you are doing your masters, sometimes you want to use correlation because you want to say something like when unemployment goes up, crime goes up. So you are just expressing a relationship between two variables. So we are saying we are now correlation coefficient. So you measure it using what we call a correlation coefficient, which is between -1 and 1. If the correlation coefficient is minus, okay, let's start with a +1. We call it a perfect positive correlation. When something goes up by 1%, when asset A goes up by 1%, asset B goes up by 1%. When asset B goes up by 10%, asset A goes up by 10%. If an asset A goes down by 5%, asset B goes. So that's perfect correlation, which is 1. So in that case, like to just build on what you already know, it means you are not well diversified. You are like holding the same asset. Then there's negative correlation. When asset goes up by 1%, asset B goes down by 1%. When asset A goes up by 5%, asset B goes down by 5%. That's perfect negative correlation. Or we can say it's perfect diversification. If correlation is 0, it means there is really no discernible relationship. So to express it graphically, perfect positive correlation is a line like that. Perfect negative correlation is a line like that. No correlation. If they are all over the place. We can't really see the relationship. So the calculation for a correlation is really fairly straightforward. We say covariance divided by, this is the standard deviation, times standard deviation B. So it's covariance for asset A and B divided by standard deviation for A times standard deviation for B. Where covered, don't worry about this part. We are going to do it separately after we have mastered this correlation. So correlation is straightforward. Okay, that I already said. So we have a question, the same story. Assume the covariance of x and y is 165,667. The standard deviation is x, or for share x is 1266, and that for y is 14.012. Calculate the correlation of share x and y. Comment whether it is well diversified. Okay, so our covariance is given. And here, ladies and gentlemen, look here, we are given the standard deviation. If we are not given the standard deviation, you have to calculate it standard deviation first. And remember, standard deviation is the square root of the variance. Okay, you see. So now we just plug and play. If you say, I don't know what we're talking about, you will know very soon. 165 divided by 12.66 times that, because we're just taking that, we get our answer plus 9337. It's a very high, almost perfect, high positive correlation. So the portfolio is not well diversified because of the high positive correlation. Yours is the one, the 2. Let's go. If you have a question, you can ask it. But I think this is fairly straightforward. But Don't listen to me when I say it's fairly straightforward. I've looked at these things, I don't know how many times. I started teaching this module in 2010 when I was a toddler. I don't know what you were, but I was a toddler at that point. No, but most of you weren't toddlers at that point, because someone like me was born in 1998. In 2010, I would have been 12 years. So that's when I started this. Okay, so when I was 12, that's when I started teaching this module. Okay. Do your practice question, or the red one and then the bonus. The same old, same old. So Luvuyo, is it a well-diversified portfolio? Now that's the second part of the question. Then you can do the bonus question, Luvuyo, while some people are sweating with the first question. Syntax error. Syntax error. Where did I make a mistake? It's just doing whatever it's wanting to do there. Hey, Lesecha is a different answer there. But you didn't tell us whether they are well diversified or not. Kunelo, yes, the class is always, the class. This I'll post it on YouTube because that's where I can post a big file like this one, and then I'll put a link in on my Unisa, not in my Unisa, on my Unisa. Same old, same old. I'm kind of boring person, as you can see. No change. One more minute, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, we are going. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Okay, half a minute. There's few people actually who have posted. It's not too many people who have posted. Millicent is on strike. Millicent, what's happening? Zile, what's happening? Okay, going once. Going once, going twice, going the last time. Let's see who got this 0.76. There was some perfect person who got 0.76, I'm sure. Yeah, Luvuyo. World. So what was the trick there, Luvuyo? Do you want to talk or do you don't want? Luvuyo. Luvuyo doesn't want to talk. Just why no. Otherwise, I'll be bewitched if I'm ahead on this thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Covariance we are given 2.89 there. Divided by here, ladies and gentlemen. That's where this I did it deliberately. There is a variance here, not standard deviation. So the variance of share X is 2.9. That's why here you see square root 2.96.12. So for multiplication, okay, let me straighten the tongue. Okay, now I think it's straight. For exams, that's what I wanted to actually just say. One of the things I wanted to say for this question. For exams, ladies and gentlemen, you need to read carefully because yours is multiple choice. So one little thing here we said variance of share. Remember, the formula says standard deviation. So we needed to say square root of that times square root of that equals to that divided by that. And the same one, Luvuyo got it right because Luvuyo saw this thing is variance. Variance. Any questions? Should we do it one step by step or we are happy with this? Going one step by step or we are happy with the answer? Going twice step by step or we are happy with the answer? Going, gone. Now remember our formula. If we go back to here, step by step, Anastasia, we were almost lost. Okay? Step by step. We are just going to do the first one step by step. We are using this formula there, ladies and gentlemen. So covariance we are already given. Here, covariance 2.89. So we are going to say 2.89 here. Then we are going to say what is the variance for X? So Vx, not XV. Vx variance for X is equals to square root. Okay, there are so many ways of doing square root, but I want to do the easiest way. I can just say square root here in Excel. Square root of what? 2.96. 2.9612 close blanket. Then we are going to say, not variance, SDY. Standard deviation for Y is equals to square root. No need to show off anymore because you already know what that is. Square root of 4.8276 close there because otherwise I won't sleep well at night if I don't correct this. Then now we are plugging and playing where it's going to say equals to covariance, which is here, divided by, we open blanket so that we don't make mistakes, that times that, we close the blanket, 0.763461. Peletso, there will be half of the exam is theory questions, so you need to master the theory. You really need to understand the theory. So okay. Now let's go back. Remember our formula for correlation is covariance divided by that. What if you are not given the covariance? That's the question. What if you are not given the covariance? So what is really covariance? So covariance is a measure of risk, and the covariance formula is equals to summation P times return minus KA times return. Remember, required return. Okay, blah 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 blah. Whatever I'm saying, we don't understand. Okay, let's put it in an example. So an analyst makes the following estimate: scenario 1, scenario 2, probability 50%, 50%. The return of share I In first scenario, 30% return of share I, second scenario, 10%. Return of share J, 20 and minus 10. What is the covariance? We take our formula there, formula nicely. We say 0.5 times 30. Okay, so expected return. Sorry, the first step, expected return. Don't forgot one thing. Expected return first. Expected return 0.5 times 30 plus 0.5 times 10. This one, which is equals to 20%. So that's our expected return there. For expected return for J, 0.5 times 20 plus 0.5 times minus there, which gives us this one, 5%. So covariance of ij is equals to, now we are just now plugging and playing. Probability there, 0.5 times 30 minus 20 expected return times, see the formula there, 20 minus 520, which is this one, 20 minus 5. Where is the 5 coming from? Yeah, expected return. Close bracket. Plus, now we go to line number 2. 0.5 there times 10, which is there, minus the expected return 20, which is here, close bracket, times minus 10, where is it? Minus 10 minus 5, which is the expected return here, 5%. If we do that, 1.5%, or which is the same as 0.015. Easy. Not too easy. Easy, a little bit easy, not too hard. So I'm going to surprise you with a question. I don't know whether you are surprised, but personally, I'm actually surprised there's a question for you at the bottom. It's a little bit more difficult because I just wanted to make it a little bit more fun because it is 3 scenarios. There's 3 probability. Okay, 3 scenarios actually. It's called 3 scenarios. Scenario 1, 2, 3. Security A and security B. What is the covariance? Let's go. So first step, calculate expected return for A and for B. Second step, calculate the covariance for first line, second line, third line. Then you sum, add everything up. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do that, I'll be happy. If you have a question, I'm here. I'm not even fiddling with my phone or anything when I'm silent. I'm just silent here with my hands together. Last week I showed my camera and then everything collapsed, so I want to show my face. I'm just sitting here with my hands together. So you can post in the chat or you can unmute and ask me anything because I'm here. Ladies and gentlemen, when you find the expected return for A, please post. Post in the chat so that I know at least you are making some progress. Expected return for A, post in the chat. Expected return for B, post in the chat. Okay, Kaylin, you are going well. Millicent, doing well. Luvuyo, Rimbo, doing well. Let's go for expected return for B. I'm here. If you are stuck, ask me. Please post your expected return for A and B. Then let's go scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, and then you add everything up. Okay, expected return for B, Luvuyo, yes. We're going up, looking good. Looking good, Millicent. Now let's go for the scenario 1, scenario 2, scenario 3, and then we sum everything. Okay. I'll give you 2 more minutes. Zile, I can see you are doing well. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I just want to ask for your example. Where did you get 0.5? 0.5 is the 50%, the probability. Sorry. Yeah, because if I say 50%, it would confuse you. Okay, 0.5 is the 50%. Covariance, Kelinio got your covariance of 0.0175. Let me see if we are in agreement. If we are in agreement, then we can. We are not in 100% agreement there. But maybe you are right. Don't change it. Kaylin, don't change your covariance. Maybe because these things I'm doing them manually. 1 more minute, ladies and gentlemen. 1 more minute. Let's search away is your covariance. Did you post it and I didn't see it? You haven't posted it yet. You're keeping secrets now. What happens to not keeping secrets? Okay, still working on it. Okay, in the next few seconds, when you see 8 passes, then we are going to do it together so that we can see. But I'm thinking of a very simple way of doing it at the moment. Yeah, Kaylin, now we are agreeing. Now we are in agreement, Kaylin. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this thing together. Oh, yeah. You gave okay, let's okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's do this thing together. Let's try to do it in a way which is simple. Okay, let me delete all these things. Okay. I don't know why I'm deleting, but it makes me feel happier to delete. Okay, so expected return, ladies and gentlemen, expected return is going to be easy. Even if you are still doing, let's do it together, ladies and gentlemen. Expected return, okay, let's label it correctly. Expected return for A, and I should be mindful, it's too small. Okay, yeah, I think now we have enough size. Expected return, remember, we're just doing, we're saying equals to A 50% times 12, so we can say 0.5. Okay, let's do this, which doesn't confuse. 50% times 12% plus 25%, so that we're not converting anything, times 10%. But most of you got this, right? I don't know why I'm bothering myself with the not converting, blah, blah, blah. It just makes me happy. That's the bottom line. Sometimes you have to do things which just make you happy. Expected return, 10.5. So expected return B is equals to, open bracket, 50% times 10% plus 0.25. Don't ask me why 0.25, because it's the same. It's 25%. Plus 0.25. No, don't autocorrect. I know what I'm doing. Looks like I know what I'm doing. Times 9%. I'm making mistakes now. Okay, 50% times 10, 25% times 11, 25% times 9, which is this third column. Okay, that one, I think most of you got this one, right? So we have our expected return there. So let's do it step by step to make our lives easy. We are going to say scenario 1. So S1, then here we are going to say S2, there we are going to say S3. So S1, we are going to say, remember, we are going to do this whole thing for S1. To say probability times return minus that, that's what I'm going to do here for this first line. So I'm going to say equals to probability 50% or 0.5 times, open bracket, return. The first return, we know that the first goes to scenario 1, so it goes to 12% minus expected return for 1, 10.5%, close bracket, times, open bracket, 10%, 10% minus expected return there, 10%. This whole thing is going to give us 0 because of that last line, which was 0. Equals to, next line, now we are here, we are at 25%. So I'm going to say 25% times, that's the probability, times 10% minus 10.5%, close bracket, times, next line, which is this one, 11% minus 10%. Gives us a funny number. Equals to 25% times the probability, now we are here, 8% minus 10.5, where's 0.5%, times, open bracket, 11% minus 10%. Is there, did I do it? Where are we? We are on line number 3, and you make me make mistakes. Not you make me, you allow me to make mistakes. 8. So the next one should be 9% minus 10%, close bracket. Okay, let's just check to make sure that we are right. So this is the third scenario. So it's 25 times 8 minus 10.5, which is right. 9, I'm looking at the formula there against that. 9 minus 10%, which is right. Let's go to scenario 2. 25%, 10 minus 10.5, which is fine. 11 minus 10, which is fine. Then the first one, of course, is fine. Okay, let's just be perfectionists. 50% because of this 10 minus 10. So that one is fine. So then we come here and say equals to sum. Now we're adding everything. We are summing everything. Gives us 0. Then we go, we cry. The number is so small. The number is very it's small. So we are going to move our things like that. There. Ladies and gentlemen, any questions? Any questions? Any questions? So Kaylin, I think you dropped the percentages here, but you did very well. Okay, now I'm doing something easier, similar but easier. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 15 minutes, so we can make use of them. And we are doing very well. In terms of time, today we are doing exceptionally well. Calculate the return for portfolio A and B. Given the that asset return is 7. Okay, there was no question. I'm not just moving too fast. And asset B, if you advise that asset A consists of 60%. Okay, what is the portfolio return? It's simple. Because we know that the proportion is 60%, we can say 0.6 times 7.6. 60% times 8, this proportion times that, plus 0.4. Because if the portfolio is only 2 assets, A and B, so if this is 60%, it means the rest is 40%. 0.4 times 11, then it gives you that. Calculate the return for portfolio MN, given that equation. This one is yours, ladies and gentlemen. Now, easy, it's getting easier. We're finishing on an easy note. In the chat. If they are equally weighted. B, they can do while they are sleeping. A, the red one. So, no, what I should name this question so that I know which one you're answering. So the first one, let's call it practice question. The second one, let's call it a bonus question. So that when you put your answer there, at least I know which one you're answering. And because we are organized, we are going to bold that so that it's visible, nice, can sit nicely. Yeah. Then we are going to save. Let's go. You are burning out. We are only left with 14 minutes, so we are almost there. Okay, let's go. Look, we one last time. Remember, always 4 decimal places to help you. 4 decimal places. Not for this one. We just to keep in mind the 4 decimal places because that's the expectation to say your answer should be accurate to 4 decimal places. I was wondering what happened to your answer when you edited it. I'm sitting here wondering, did I see wrong? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 1 more minute. Okay, Matsi. Millicent, where is your answer? This one is easy. Millicent, we should have it, this thing. Bonus question, ladies and gentlemen, you can just look at it and then put the answer there. Because bonus question, okay, that is if you have a mathematical mind. If you don't have, just calculate it. Okay, our time is up, ladies and gentlemen. I think you got it right. Yeah. 7.5. Should we do together? I don't think so. Should we do together? Okay, I shouldn't ask a question when I want a certain answer. Okay, should we do together? Going once, together, going twice, together. Okay, thumbs up. The 5.9. What happened to you there? Let's search what happened to you there. I think you made a mistake. Okay, let's see. Let's minimize. Let's collapse the ribbon. Scroll up. Calculate the return for portfolio M, given that the return for asset there is 5.4. So we are saying a return for M is 5.4. Return for yeah, there's a lot of N. I shall not be there. N is equals to 8.06. 8.06. And we are told that the proportion for M, the N consists of 80%. 80%. And the other one obviously is 20%. Because if the one asset is 80%, then we know. So what is the return? So we just say equals to open bracket 20% times 5.4 plus 80% times 8.06. It gives us 7.5. That's that number. Okay. The next one, I want to do a calculation. Calculate the return for portfolio XY, given that the return for X is 15.4 and the asset B is 15.4. If the return is equal, obviously, then therefore, the expected return should be equal. So, but to do it in a long way, 0.5 times 15.4 plus 0.5, it gives you exactly that. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are doing what we call calculating standard deviation. This is the last thing. This is the really last thing. But calculating standard deviation is easy, ladies and gentlemen. If you are given probability, is easy. Okay, so we are going to calculate standard deviation for this one, for A. Yours will be this one, B. Okay, so please listen to me for the last question when I'm explaining last time. So when you are calculating standard deviation, when you are given probability, your formula is this one. It says R, which is individual return minus expected return squared times P, probability. We've already done a similar calculation. It is a very similar calculation when we're doing covariance. But this one is like 2 steps down. So when we're calculating covariance, we were like in flow number 9. Now we are down to flow number 7 or 6. So you need to first find the expected return. Expected return is P times probability times the individual return. So expected return, so we are doing this one together. expected return for A is equals to 0.3 times 15 plus 0.5, which is probability times 10, plus 0.2 times 2. So expected return is 9.9%. Now we can go to our formula, which is summation. So we are going to do individual lines there. So we're going to say 15 minus 9.9 squared, which is there, this thing in blankets squared, times P probability, which is this one, plus 10 minus 9.9, which is the expected return squared, times P, which is this one, probability, plus 2 minus 9.9 squared times 0.2, which is the probability there, equals to 20.29. This 20.29, we call it a variance. Variance. Then we say step number 3, what is the standard deviation square root of 20.29, 4.5? Yours is this one. This is a fairly straightforward calculation. First step, find expected return. Second step, expected return formula is there. So you're saying probability times that plus probability times that plus probability times that, which is what we did here. Then you get your thing. Then you say here we're saying 15 minus, where is the 15? 15 minus 9.9, 9.9 squared times probability, and you do all that, and you get that. You can do individually. First calculate that, then first, second that, then second that, third that, then you add all of them together. You get that. This is called your variance, square root of that, blah, 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 blah. Yours is this one. I'm going to shut up and wait for... So when you find your expected return for X, please post in the chat. Expected return for X, please post in the chat. And if you have a question, please post in the chat. The expected return for X, please post in the chat. Okay. Ruvimbo, I see you have posted. Oh, okay, lots of people. You're welcome. I'm just seeing Ruvimbo. Zile is posted, Luvuyo is posted, and I'm happy with your calculations there. Kaylin is posted. Now let's go for the standard deviation. What I can do in the meantime is to prepare for my explanation so that it's quicker. I will put... Okay, let's see. If I'm starting to have standard deviation, yeah, Letabo is a standard deviation there. Expected return Luvuyo, nice, nice, nice. Okay. .61 millicent, well done, but 4 decimal places of millicent. Remember, 4 decimal places. Letabo, Well done, 4 decimal places. But I'm not saying well done, the answer is correct. I'm just saying well done for finishing. But possibly it's also well done for the answer. Let's get one more person. Kaylin, what's happening? Please post. You are blocking us. Lesecha, you are blocking me. Okay, Kaylin is opened. Okay, so now there's no reason not to post. See, you're blocking so many people. Okay, even I can also post. Ladies and gentlemen, okay, let's just do this thing. Last thing together. Okay, there we go. So here's the question. In the meantime, okay, let's do that and pin the ribbon. So these are the numbers. So the first step, remember, ladies and gentlemen, is calculating expected return. Expected return equals to, open bracket, 0.25 times 18 plus 0.4? Yeah, maybe it's 0.4, yeah, 0.4. Because this I never too sure, maybe Excel is rounded up, which would be disastrous. 0.35 times 6, which gives us 11.4, which all of you got right. Let's say, so that I can, okay, now that makes me happy. Lufuyo, I think you're right. Okay, now standard deviation. I used to do what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to make your life easy, you do step by step. So you can say growth is stable, decline. If you want to make your life easy, then it's equals to, remember, we started with the probability 0.25 times 18 minus 11.4. What is the 11.4 expected return? We are squaring it, gives you that, equals to the next one, 0.4, which is the probability, times, open bracket, 12 minus 11.4, and then we are squaring it, equals to 0.35, which is the 0.35 times 6 minus 11.4. We are squaring that number, and then we are going to sum everything. We are adding everything. We are summing everything. We are going to get 21.24. That's called let's put a name here, variance. But we know that our SD is equals to square root. So the other way of finding a square root, so that I can show off a little bit, is then you can raise this to the power of 0.2, 0.5. You are too good, ladies and gentlemen. You can see most of you got the standard deviation correctly. This is our last lecture, because I know most of you are now preparing to write. The exams are getting near. So I want to just say two things on record. On record, because we're still recording. The first thing is, all these concepts we have covered. If you are not on my UNISA, you might not know this, but we have videos to cover every concept we have covered, and including some of the things which we didn't cover. So what we did is to create these short videos, less than 5 minutes, all the concepts, all the difficult concepts, most of the easy, all the calculations there, and lots of theory there on video. The only thing you might complain about is to say, I'll use an accent. That I take it. Like, I'll blame my father. Why is he due to be born there where he was born? That is fault. Okay. That I finished blaming. But for the content, this is there on my UNISA. So I'll keep on posting. I think if I find time today, I'll post it to finish all the derivatives. And then I'll post the next one. And then I'll post, so that by the end of next week, we are done with all the content. I will post this on my UNISA. This recording on my UNISA. If you have a question, you can post it on my UNISA. I'm always there. And this is the last lecture. So next week, we don't have a lecture. Okay, now let me stop the recording. I think I've said the two things which I wanted to say. Can we have exam practice questions? I will post something on my